Well, it's that time of year again where we look at the growing, evolving Chromebook landscape and pick what we feel are the best devices out there for you to consider buying for yourself or maybe for a loved one. We're not messing with categories or any sort of grouping this time around, though. I simply want to give you the list of Chromebooks I think are flat out the best ones that you can buy. Prices are always all over the place on these Chromebooks, so talking about things in terms of best value or best deal isn't as applicable as it once was. So instead, I've put together a list of the 7 Chromebooks that I'd personally give to anyone asking me about purchasing a new device right now. Each of these devices offer up something a bit unique, and every single one is a fantastic example of what a great Chromebook is. Their prices on any given day can range from $300 to $700, so I'm not going to get deep into what each one costs right now because it just can vary so much from one day to the next. Instead, let's just take a wide-angle look at my 7 favorite Chromebooks as 2024 comes to a close. But before we get into that list, I would like to extend an invitation for you to check out Chrome Unboxed Plus. It's our membership community where like-minded people who love Chromebooks, who love Chrome OS and the Google ecosystem get together and talk about all sorts of things. It's just a great group of people that's growing literally by the day. I learn all kinds of stuff when I'm in there, but at $2 a month, you get access to that group of people. You get access to an ad-free experience on our website at chromeunboxed.com, an ad-free experience on our podcast, and exclusive access to Joe and myself and to AMAs that we've had with people from the Chrome OS team, including John Miletus and Stella Shannon and more to come. So if you haven't already, you can check out more about this community over at chromeunboxed.com/join. And over there, you can kind of learn more about what we have going on and hopefully join up. Let's start things off with the Samsung Galaxy Chromebook Plus. Now, these devices aren't in any kind of order, but I did put this one first because currently it's just my favorite. Since completing the reviews we've had lingering here at Chrome Unboxed, I immediately jumped back to the Galaxy Chromebook Plus as my daily driver and have not looked back since. The AMOLED screen, the responsive backlit keyboard, the massive glass trackpad, the absurdly thin, light build of this Chromebook have made it one that I just love to use. I love picking it up. I love putting it in my bag at the end of the day. The 13th gen Core 3 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and 256 gigs of storage means it can handle anything I throw at it, and the port selection is really comprehensive too. There's just so much to like about the Galaxy Chromebook Plus, and it's just super easy to recommend. In a similar fashion, the Asus ExpertBook CX54 Chromebook Plus is a shining example of how to build an impressive high-end Chromebook Plus model. While not as wildly thin as the Samsung, it still maintains a really low profile. It's built of all aluminum, and it comes packing some specs that outdo nearly every other Chromebook on the market. You get a 14-inch 16:10 screen that hits 500 nits of brightness. It's QHD, 120 Hz. It's got 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, all in a chassis that houses a huge glass trackpad, a backlit keyboard, and all the ports that you could ask for. The webcam is 8 megapixels, the Core 5 Ultra processor is crazy fast, and the fingerprint scanner is just a nice addition. Even at $699 on most days, this is a fantastic high-end Chromebook that delivers one of the absolute best experiences you can get in the Chrome OS world right now. As they have done for every single generation of this Chromebook, Acer has simply nailed it again with the latest iteration of the Spin 714. The all-aluminum chassis is rigid and well-made. The backlit keyboard and ocean glass trackpad are a treat to use. The Core 5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage give you all the speed, all the space that you could ask for. And the 14-inch 16:10 screen is gorgeous and plenty bright at 350 nits. Oh, and this one converts to tablet mode as well and has USI Pen support. And it's just easily one of the best overall Chromebooks that you can buy here in 2024. The Lenovo Chromebook Duet 11-inch is the latest in the long line of Duet tablets from Lenovo, and it's easy to call it the best yet. Taking what they've done with the original Duet and then with the Duet 3 that followed it, Lenovo has continued to iterate their way to a superb all-around detachable Chromebook. The 11-inch screen is just as stunning as it was in years past. The new pen slot works like a charm. The wild angled kickstand feels inspired, and the spill-resistant keyboard is the best that they've ever shipped in a Duet. With the Companion 838 powering things under the hood, it's also the fastest Duet we've ever had, and paired up with 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, you have a potent little Chromebook tablet on your hands that's an absolute joy to use on the go or at the desk. One of my favorite Chromebooks for the past couple years when it comes to like versatility and price has been the Acer Chromebook Plus 516GE. Replacing the original 516GE, this new Plus branded version simply iterates a bit on what made the original so good in the first place. This 16-inch Chromebook is packed with a fast Core 5 120U processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and the 16:10 screen is one of my all-time favorites. At 120 Hertz, Quad HD, 350 nits of brightness, it is fantastic for anything you want to do on it, including some game streaming. The RGB keyboard is brighter than it was before, the upward facing speakers are louder than they were before, and the new all black chassis just looks sweet, and the whole thing still weighs in at just 3.75 pounds. So if you want a bigger Chromebook with all the bells and whistles, this one's probably the one for you. The Asus Chromebook Plus CX34 is the poster child for iteration, and the newer model made moves in the right direction for sure. It's a standard 14-inch Chromebook with just enough specs to make it Chromebook Plus, but the latest update gives it some serious power under the hood with an updated Intel Core i5-1335U. Pair that up with 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of storage, and the striking all-white chassis, and you have a great combo that's just $499 on a normal day. When it regularly dips down to around $350, it's a crazy deal that gets you a lot of performance, a lot of pleasing aesthetics, and an added touchscreen for not a lot of money. The Lenovo Flex 5i Chromebook Plus is what I would consider one of the best all-around Chromebook Plus models available for the price. It doesn't stand out with a bunch of like superlatives, and instead gets by just getting all the basics right on a good budget. Lenovo went with the now popularized 16:10 14-inch screen, got it up to 300 nits, and combined it with solid internals, decent upward-facing speakers, a solid keyboard trackpad combo, and just put it all in a convertible chassis that supports USI pins. It's been with us since late 2023, but every time I think about a solid, well-rounded example of Chromebook Plus, this one comes to mind. And when it goes on sale, it always makes for a great value proposition. And that wraps up our best Chromebooks of 2024. There are a lot of options out there for you to buy for yourself or for a loved one, and it's my sincere hope that this list drastically helps you narrow those choices down a bit. There's not a device in this group that I would be unhappy with, and I feel like that'll be the case for you as well. Keep an eye out for deals on every one of these models too, because there's always a deal just around the corner on every one of these models. But that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to ring the notification icon as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.